Ready to get this party started?
Alright.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, or howdy partners, as I like to say.
Howdy, howdy.
And we are back with another episode of Scrambled Eggs and RAM.
It's PAX edition.
PAX. P-A-X. Penny Arcade Expo.
East.
Motherfuckers.
We gotta put that East on there.
Yeah, that's true. It's PAX.
There's
It's
a
PAX
lot of
East.
PAXs
Yes.
now.
We just got back from PAX East not too long ago.
From fucking Boston.
Oh, man.
Let's talk about Boston.
Let's talk about
and why
Boston.
it needs to be burned down.
AKA the fucking Maze Runner. Holy shit. You can't find anything in that goddamn city.
Man.
It's like, okay, we live in New York City, right?
Right.
New York City is a fucking grid. It's like streets go like this and they go like this. They intersect. Boston,
And it's
like
also numbered. Number like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Street in New York, it's like it's 100th Street, 101st Street,
Right.
102nd Street. In Boston, it's like 52nd Street and then fucking Apple Street. What the fuck? How am I even gonna know where I'm going? And then those streets intersect fucking twice. They go in intersection, they go back and forth. It's like, Jesus Christ, man, I can't find anything.
It's like a double helix on the DNA, and then you just connect together, and then it splits 3 ways. Like one road splits 3 ways, and then one road like makes a huge turn, but it's not really a turn. It's still one road.
Ridiculous roads that turn into another road that goes back to the first road.
And they got exits in tunnels.
Oh my, let's not even go into the tunnels, man. Exits inside of a tunnel. Have you ever seen an exit inside of a tunnel? Get the fuck out of here.
I have, in Boston.
Only in Boston. You know, we saw that movie Maze Runner last summer or whatever.
Yes.
They should have just had that movie take place in Boston. They should have just dropped those kids in Boston and be like, fucking find your way out of here, motherfuckers. Kids would have never escaped.
I don't know,
They would have never gotten out of that movie.
The only assumption I'm going through is that they kept the old, like, carriage roads and they just never try to change it. It's just,
I don't know what they gotta just like wipe that whole city out and just build it up from the ground up like a normal city, you know,
or just like a city that you can actually like navigate through.
Retarded. No offense to any actual retarded people, but Boston is retarded.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I driven in DC, and I thought that was pretty like crazy, but man, Boston just like
Boston
DC.
shits all over DC.
Yeah, and Baltimore is like that's easier, except for the ghetto parts where it's kind of scary.
Baltimore ain't got nothing on Boston. Like, you can find your way around in Baltimore. You might not like where you end up, but you can find
the fish market.
Oh, man. Anyway, so PAX East was in Boston. Right. We were there. Somehow we managed to find our way there and escaped somehow. Magically. We were at the Penny Arcade Expo 2015. And we checked out some panels, we checked out some new games that are on the come up. We saw some guys riding around in Luigi carts, whatever.
That was pretty cool.
Luigi
I don't know how he got that cart up there, but...
he was on multiple floors with that Luigi cart.
Elevator. He must have had like a help. He must have had Mario.
Yeah, Mario must have been there. He's like his mechanic, But anyways, so... let's dive right in. Yeah. What impressed you about the convention? What did you see there that was noteworthy to you?
Like, okay, so like PAX is known for like their indie booth, I think. That's the most thing they're known for. And like there's a lot of great indie games, and the thing is about
a few.
And the thing about indie games, like even though I want to be an indie developer, I haven't released any games yet, but I'm totally working on my own stuff. It's inspiring, great, but the thing is, a lot of the games are they're all the same games, but they're just different graphics.
Really? You think so?
That was the...
Yo, you're not helping our fan base right now. You're just shitting on developers. They're going to watch the video.
No.
Like, who the fuck is this Coon guy? What does he think he knows?
Honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing, right? Because, all it matters is if you just make a good game, it's going to be a good game regardless if it's like the same thing that's the other person is doing. Right. But, there's some cool stuff. But the thing is, like, they're taking ideas that's already existed and they're adding some extra things to it. But overall, I feel like almost like the gameplay wise, like similar to.
Do you think you can do better though?
Hell no. Oh. I don't plan to. No, because like a lot of indie games is built on nostalgia.
Well, you've worked on quite a few different games of games in the past. You know what I mean? So you have some idea of what it takes. You know what I mean? So
it's definitely impressive. It's so impressive. Like the concepts that they put in and everything. It's cool. But the game that really impressed me the most is Dreadnought.
Okay.
That's the game that's
let's get into that. Yeah, I actually went to a panel for Dreadnought. Now, if you haven't heard about Dreadnought, it's a space combat game, sort of like but it's not most space combat games have to do with like small fighter craft engaging in like battles. Right. This game is a little bit different, where it's about like big cruiser ships, you know,
right,
in combat.
That's what I like. I like just like, you know, ship battles.
Yeah, it's like ship battles. Exactly, it's ship battles, and there is some smaller, you know, fighter based combat involved as well. But like the meat of the game is big ship battles, and it's very early in development. We saw it on the show floor.
Right. And you guys saying it's an alpha?
It was pre-alpha.
Pre-alpha.
It was pre-alpha.
Oh my god!
It looked
guys,
great,
I tell you, it looks like it's in beta, man. That's how good it looks.
Graphically speaking, it looked great. It looked fantastic. I saw some teaser footage. I saw some gameplay footage. I went to a panel with the developers. They were talking about business model is going to be free to play. And I guess you're going to pay for like cosmetic upgrades to the ships and stuff like that.
The way it was described to me, it was sort of like Team Fortress meets like the ship battles and like EVE Online.
Right,
you know?
right.
That's what it was.
Sort of a cross between those types of gameplay.
Something, you know, no MMO type things, no
right.
stuff like
that. But it looked pretty interesting. The developers seemed very enthusiastic about it. I was blown away by the graphics. Like just you know, maybe it was just because I was on the show floor and it was like a big screen. You know, I couldn't really focus in on the little details. Maybe, who knows? But when we were on the show floor, I forgot what we were checking out. It might have been the Steam controller or something like that. Yeah. And I noticed a big screen playing Dreadnought footage, and I was like, "Whoa, what's this game? I haven't heard about that."
It's just for me. It's the big ship battles and the way they present the battles. It's just the way I always wanted to play a game like that. You know? So
yeah, I was impressed.
I'm surprised that there's really no game that just focused on that until now.
I was surprised too, because after we saw that footage, I was surprised. I was thinking about. I was like, you know, has any game really done that? Up until now,
I mean, they had like ship battles, like RTS ship battles, where you build ships and put an army together, and like, you know, they would fire on top of each other, like, at each other, you know, without you controlling just one ship,
right?
And like doing things like forward the shields to like to the front or to the side or to the back, and this game lets you do that. And
this game will have that.
Oh, I'm such a big military sci-fi guy, and so that's
it's
really awesome.
if you're into that genre, if you're into that type of stuff, it's awesome. Or at least it looks awesome up until now. They talked about how there's going to be different classes of ships, different abilities, so you'll be able to find a ship that fits your play style. And even within the different classes, there are going to be subclasses and sub-abilities and things that you can add to the ship. So there's going to be a lot of customization. But it's pre-alpha right now. The developer, I believe, is a German team. I can't recall the name. But anyways, I think it was Jaeger. Jaeger.
Oh, but Grey Goo is probably the publisher, right?
Probably, yeah. Something, or that was like a phrase they came up with or something like that. But so that game was pre-alpha, probably a couple years away from release. You know what I mean? How these things go.
Right.
Anything else?
Early build or something.
The
only thing is the other thing I want to talk about. I guess like the Final Fantasy 15.
You know what? All right, here's the deal about Final Fantasy 15.
I went to the panel. There was a panel there.
You did, yeah. And you didn't like it.
No. I actually liked it.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe
the
some of the other
person,
people we were with.
Yeah, the other person that I was with didn't like it, only because it's sort of taken. Like the fantasy part is sort of taken out, like, you know, so and that's why
it's more like just final.
15. Yeah, it's final 15, sure, but no, it's like that's what I liked about the game. Like it seemed like designs are been toned down, like, you know, there's no like crazy armor or
a little
whatever.
less fantastical.
Yeah, exactly. But still there's some fantasy elements, you know, you have that big ass monsters and stuff.
Right.
But I feel like with gameplay wise and stuff, it looks like something like right up my alley. It's more like action packed. It's kind of it's more like Monster Hunter, actually. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah, and I'm really excited about that, and I can't wait to play it because there's giant monsters, and you have a group of people, and you're gonna have to go and, you know, and just fight it with swords, and you can customize like the way the combos work and everything, because you can like per like a button you can choose like a different sword.
That's pretty
and
dope.
Like these swords probably have like different abilities and stuff, like healing or whatever, you know? So
okay.
That's cool.
Well, the impressions that I got from the online community after the convention was that everybody loved Final Fantasy 15. Like,
right. Or
people were all talking very highly about Final Fantasy 15.
Right.
I mean, I've lost track of the Final Fantasies at this point. There's so many Final Fantasies.
Yeah, I sort of lost track after.
I don't know what's what anymore, you know, but I know Type 0 is coming out soon on PS4. That's kind of, everybody's hyped about that.
Well, I'm hyped about that because there's a demo of Final Fantasy 15 on it.
Ah, so that's what's got everybody so hyped.
Yeah, exactly. I actually kind of want to buy it just because.
Just to get the demo.
I think everybody, like majority of people will.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I mean that's fair. But so your impressions were positive, though.
Yeah. Overall, positive.
Did you actually like the new art direction they were going in, or you were just like, you know what, the game looks dope, whatever?
I like I'm more impressed with the gameplay. The art direction, yeah, they could have done something better, but I feel like they made it up like because like if you just saw like the illustration or concepts, they don't really have a lot of personality just drawings wise, but animation wise they have a lot of personality.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting because I feel like a lot of Western games that's how they approach like their characters.
So this is kind of a blend between that like sort of Japanese and Western style.
Yeah, Japanese, like a lot of Japanese games it's dependent on like what you first see, you know, concepts like holy crap, that's crazy style, right? But nowadays like but Westerners like they're more about the character's personality, how they move and what they do in the game. Right. That shows like.
Well, I feel like that's probably why Western RPGs have become sort of like the leader in that sort of genre and that market.
It's starting to, yeah. Well,
it's definitely been a pretty big shift, you know, because if you go back to like early 2000s, late 90s or whatever, I didn't even really hear about Western RPGs back then. I'm sure they existed, you know, here and there, but they really weren't a big mover in the market. Now you have stuff like, you know, Mass Effect is out there, Dragon Age is out there, you know what I mean? So it's Skyrim, yeah, all these Western RPGs are really sort of carrying the load now. It wasn't the case 10, 15 years ago, you know?
No.
So
so anything else? Like,
I checked out a few things on the show floor. I saw Fable, the new Fable coming out.
How was that?
To me, it looked good. It looked like fun, but you know, it's so hard to say because like they didn't show a lot. They had like you know, sort of like a bare bones demo available, like one stage or whatever. And to me, anyways, looking at it, it seemed kind of like it was a third person sort of over the shoulder view of a sort of like Diablo-esque gameplay, like you would be in a dungeon or a map or whatever with, you know, enemies scattered throughout, and there's a boss at the end of the map or the end of the dungeon. You and 3 other players play through the dungeon, figure it out, defeat all the enemies. You're leveling up, you're adding stats, you're adding character abilities as you go. And that was kind of all I really saw. Graphically speaking, as far as like that's the best looking Fable game I've ever seen.
That's good.
So, and graphically speaking, I would say I was very impressed. Gameplay wise, the school's still out on that, honestly. Jury's still out on that. We gotta wait and see more. That game's supposed to come out this year, though.
Really?
So,
yeah. So it's like, you were saying like something that's like beta, right?
Yeah, exactly. It is free to play, though. It's a free-to-play Fable game, which is kind of like, well, I don't really know what's going on with that. It's got
if they go towards like League of Legends type of free-to-play, that'd be cool.
From what I understand, that's how it's going to be. It's going to be sort of like a League of Legends style where there's going to be heroes that cycle in and out of the game for free every week, and if you want a specific hero, you buy that hero.
Okay. Oh, that's League of Legends. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So that could work. That could be a thing. We'll see what happens with that.
I know it's like, okay, before we go on, this is my first PAX, right? That's my first PAX, and
my second PAX.
Yeah, I definitely want to go again.
Oh, I had a blast. Had a great
time. The thing is, like, what I want to say right before we even go on is like, what's really great about PAX is like it's a place to see things that are in beta or in alpha or like pre-alpha or prototype, and I think that's usually something like that makes PAX stand out compared to like E3 or something like that. You know?
Right.
And I just think that's. Because E3, I feel like you see more polished things, more kind of completed things. Here you see bugs and things like that. And,
True, I would agree with that.
I don't know. It feels like I'm so much closer to developers, and I really, if I ever get my game like going on like a like at a good pace, right? I definitely want to like go on an indie booth and show my game.
That'd be great, yeah.
And see and get feedback. It's really,
totally do that,
man.
As long as I get to name the game, like we talked about, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
keep dreaming. That's all I'm saying.
So so I checked out Fable. Like I said, my hopes are high for that. We'll see where it goes. We also checked out Overwatch. Blizzard typically never fails. Looked great. You know, there was a ton of people trying to play that game, so I couldn't really. I couldn't even get close enough to it. But it looked
Which
good.
Is fine.
I mean, you know, you can trust that that's going to be a solid game. Blizzard doesn't put out shit. You know what I mean? They put out good stuff. We played with the Steam controller. Which
I mean, at first I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool," but then after playing with it more, it's I guess the best way to say it, it's like little hamsters running around the controllers, and it's just like it's
I don't know what Gabe Newell was smoking when he thought of that one, man. I mean,
he smokes a lot,
but Who knows? Maybe it'll turn out to be a huge thing and everybody will love it and we're just idiots. Who knows? But
could be just the wrong game that we're using.
Yeah.
FPS? No go.
Yeah, definitely not. You want to mess with FPS? Yeah. We played Towerfall with the Steam.
Yeah,
controller.
but I didn't use the special.
That's the thing. It's like it didn't even support the touchpads. All right, for those of you that don't know, the Steam controller is a controller for PC gaming or for the Steam box, which is we don't have to explain all too much, but it's a new controller that's going to be available for Steam OS and for Steam on PC, and it's shaped sort of like a traditional controller, sort of, but instead of having 2 analog sticks, it has
like 2
touchpads. Yeah. 2 touchpads and 1 analog stick.
Like a middle button in the middle of the touchpad.
It's got strange buttons on the underside of the controller that you're supposed to grip and pull in. I don't know what the hell's going on with
Whatever, just so that I don't think it's really that great of a device.
Yeah, maybe, when games are designed around that controller, it could work.
I don't know. Maybe Monkey Ball would be great.
Yeah, I don't know. Does it have a gyroscope or something in it?
Yeah, maybe Marble Madness. But all the controllers have that.
Yeah.
I think the PS4 controllers way.
Maybe there's something we're just not seeing. We also we played that with the Steam controller on Steam machines. So that's a whole nother. We could do a whole episode.
Yeah, we should just skip on that.
Yeah, we'll touch on that later. We don't really know what's going on with that, but we'll talk about that more in the future.
So
those were also at PAX.
So let's just talk about overall impressions. Like for me, since I said that was my first PAX, and had fun. I had a ton of fun. I can't believe it. Even though I only got to do maybe like less than 50% of what PAX offers me, I still had fun, and I was disappointed that we left on Sunday. I really wish
it would have been great if we could have done more. Yeah.
Well, okay, one more day because I
missed some panels that I really wanted to go to. I really wanted to check out the Game Scoop panel and the Kind of Funny panel. Next year, I'm definitely catching those, assuming I'm still alive. But we did get to go to the Giant Bomb panel, which was also interesting.
It's great, but I really wish we got there earlier so we had a chance to rest up before because
we were dead tired by the time the Giant Bomb
I fell asleep in the beginning of it,
and I fell asleep
at the end.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
and that's pretty shitty of us.
From what I heard about the people sitting around us, though, it was a great panel. Too bad. Like, between the two of us, we caught the whole thing. Like, you caught the second half, I caught the first half. It was a good panel, but we were just exhausted. The Giant Bomb guys, why are you doing a panel at like 9 o'clock at night, man? What's up with that? Jeff.
No, that's when people have time to like chill and stuff. I don't know. It's a good time, I think. It's just that we arrived there so late.
I guess nobody else was really complaining. It's just us that were tired. Well, because we had a long drive. You know what I mean? We had already done the convention for the day. We were pretty beat, but we checked out that panel. That was a good time. Anything else? Anything else you want to touch on? Overall, just like great convention. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Be nice if they held it in a city with like a real highway system where you could fucking find it.
I wish it was not in Boston. Yeah.
Totally. If they moved it to like, I don't know, New York, that would be great.
Yeah. It would be great if it was New York, but the problem with New York is just it's so much more expensive, I think. And also like the
Jersey Center. Jersey. It's right over the bridge.
But the convention center like in New York it sucks. Okay.
Right, but what about if they could do the Prudential Center in Jersey or something like that?
Yeah, I've never been there, so I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine. I've been to UFC there. It's legit.
It's really big.
It's big enough for that. I mean, I'm sure there's other conventions.
Jersey
as well.
Fine. I'm fine with Jersey. You know what? Because
even
Jersey,
Philly. Even Philly might be fine.
Right.
Just get it out of Boston, man. That shit is too complex.
And then it's like when it's in the middle of winter, like sort of like at the beginning of spring, and it's like cold. And
that's the other thing. It was brick fucking freezing cold out there. You know what I mean?
Okay, it seems like this is becoming more shit fest onto Boston.
But yeah, Boston sucks. Everybody already knew that though. We don't have to tell you guys that. You fucking know Boston's trash. But the convention was great.
For driving.
Yeah, we had a good time. Kun ate some really spicy food that almost killed him.
No, dude, it's not the spiciest food I've ever had.
Yeah, it was pretty spicy.
It's pretty spicy. It's enough to like say like, yeah, it got me.
Yeah, it fucked you up. But that's all right, man. You wanted to be challenged.
Right, exactly.
You wanted it to do it.
The last time where I've sort of had that experience, the only time where like, oh wait, well, I'll just tell you my spiciest story. The end of this thing, okay?
Quick, give us the short version.
All right, okay. So like, there's a place in LA, man. It was just like one spoonful of like this like type of ramen noodle. Just had one spoon, and then I was like, done. It's way too spicy.
Really?
Yeah, that was it. That's the spiciest I've ever had in my entire life.
What part of LA?
It's like in a little Japan town, right? I think it's in like close to Hollywood. So,
interesting.
Yeah, so
I don't remember what it was called though.
I forgot what it's called. Like, cause
my
boss took me. Yeah.
Sorry guys.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's it for us. We had a great time at PAX. Highly recommend if you're a big gaming fan, check it out. You know, it happens the beginning of March every year. Unfortunately, in Boston. Anyway. If you're from the Boston area, it's convenient. If you're not, you know, you get a map, get Indiana Jones, get a bodyguard, get a tour guide, whatever you gotta do, find your way there.
But there's other PAXs too now.
Yeah, that's true. There's PAX South in San Antonio. There's PAX Prime in
Seattle.
Seattle, really? Yeah. Okay, Seattle. I think there's only 3 right now. Is there another PAX?
I think there might be another PAX. Oh, there's gonna be one at PAX just for developers.
Really? Like a GDC type of?
Yeah, PAX? I think it's gonna be in Seattle too, but it's gonna be like days before the Prime.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be interesting.
That is pretty awesome.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. Please check us out. You know what I mean? Scrambled Eggs and RAM. We're on YouTube. We're also on Instagram now. So if you want to hit us up there, Scrambled Eggs and RAM. If you want to email us, we're scrambledeggsandram@gmail.com. Send us some questions, whatever. Or shit talk us too. We love that. We love Flame Wars, whatever. You can shit talk us all day. It's good. No problem.
It's like I'll probably never read it.
Yeah, I mean, or we might read it and cry and then just fucking move on. You know, it happens. So that's a wrap. We'll catch you guys later. Later.